Eric Holmes, what do you want? You want to start off with A Breed Apart first? Let me start off with the plot summary, if you'll indulge me. Quote, when Violet accepts an invitation to a private island with some of the world's most famous social influencers, she expects a weekend of unrivaled viral opportunity. She becomes part of their horrific reality show when the guests are pitted against each other to capture the island's legendary man-eating dogs before they become victims of these monstrous canines. The aforementioned Violet is played by Grace Carolyn Curry, who Eric interviewed last week. She is the lead as Violet. Also, Virginia Gardner, who co-starred with Grace Carolyn Curry in the 2022 film Fall. Very good movie. They're back. It's a reunion for both of them. And Virginia Gardner has a meaty role in this as well. For those of you who are a fan of Heroes or just a fan of Hayden Panettiere, she is also in A Breed Apart. And I think here's the thing. When you get someone who is a popular name like Hayden Panettiere in an indie-driven movie like A Breed Apart, you think it's going to be stunt casting. She'll be in it for a couple of minutes. I will tell you, this is not stunt casting. She actually has a pretty good role in A Breed Apart. This movie is in theaters, digital, and on demand May 16th. I should have put the name of the directors. I think they're called the First Brothers or something like.
Griff First and Nathan First. They've done like I know they did I Am Omega.
Okay.
The I Am Legend, but it's not I Am Legend, but that, and I don't think they did Sharknado, but they do those kind of movies, I think.
Okay. I will say this.
Ghost Shark, Arachnoquake, Swamp Shark, Lake Placid 3. Yeah.
All right. So Bruce Perky, he will have.
Oh, they did Universal Soldiers. There you go.
Oh, that's very cool. So Bruce Perky will have his A Breed Apart review in a few moments over at the Cinematic. You can listen to what he has to say about A Breed Apart. But before we get to Eric's review, let me just say this. When you watch this movie, don't take it too seriously. Turn your brain off.
Take it very seriously. Take it the most seriously you've ever taken any movie ever.
We'll get to your take in a second. Very good, Eric. And number two, please, the first 10, 15 minutes, they're annoying because it's intentionally annoying because these are social media influencers. You get a setup of
the first time, the dog attack scene.
No, when you're introduced to social influencers, because they're all about Instagram and TikTok, so you get that social media.
I thought you were talking about like the opening where that part was
cool.
Awesome.
That part, no, I stand corrected. The opening part of A Breed Apart is very awesome because it's a flashback sequence on the island where the dogs are. It has Hayden Panettiere, and you get to see a really cool setup. But then it flashes in a couple minutes later or a minute later into an introduction to these social media influencers. And they're all pretty much, for the most part, really annoying, but they're intended to be annoying. So get past the whole getting to know you part. And once Eric mentioned man-eating dogs, once that stuff kicks in, the cliche is it's a full-on ride that I thoroughly enjoyed. Eric Holmes, take it away. Your review of A Breed Apart.
The cool thing about it, as we already mentioned, the opening was just freaking awesome. It was just like right away, bam, you're into like dogs just attacking people. And then now this is the movie where, okay, we're done with that. Now we're going to go to the boring stuff. Not really. Like they go back to the setup, and yeah, there's supposed to be social media influencers, and I never really found them annoying. This is what it is. It was kind of like almost a Midnight Madness sort of thing, where a bunch of people gets together and there's this quirky guy coming out. Okay, here's my plan of what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't last long because we get right back into the dog carnage almost immediately. So it wasn't the thing where we're gonna have a cool opening, cut to someone waking up, turn their alarm clock off, do 20 minutes of nothing until we finally get back to the movie. Breed Apart just like it pauses a bit for setup and then just goes right back into the action and carnage you're here for.
And Eric, it's unrelenting. I think that's a good thing. It's unforgiving, unrelenting, and it's funny.
Yeah. I think probably one of the funniest parts is like it's normally like a movie you would knock for the special effects. There's parts with the dogs that look like obviously fake.
Sure.
But I don't know, it feels like they use that to the movie's advantage. Kind of like in like a Toon-Assisted Driving Cat, when he drives off the road and it's an obvious cutaway to something that's completely different, but that's kind of part of the comedy, is like the sort of the bad edit or that's clearly not the same thing. like the dogs at times look fake, but I think that kind of adds to the kind of charm and comedy and
Yeah, you can
part.
distance yourself from the whole quote unquote reality because they look a
Yeah.
little bit that way.
Yeah, like when you see a dog that's like hanging on the side of a boat, for example, and the dog's like stiff and it looks like, I don't even think that's animated. It just looks like a Photoshop picture on the side of it. But at the same time, they also have a bunch of like cool blood effects and gore effects and whatnot. So it's kind of like a mixture of both. It's almost like they have bits of the movie where the effects look good. So when they have the bad effects in there, it's like them saying, look, we know what we're doing here. This isn't a bad effect because we're incompetent, because here's another effect that actually looks good. Like, we know what we're doing. This is meant for like cheese factor, camp factor, like intentionally so.
And let's also mention that for something like a man-eating canine movie like A Breed Apart, a lesser talented filmmaker or filmmakers could have just made it a very simple, static, just dogs attacking humans and humans trying away. But the way some of these action sequences are mounted are really well done. I'm pretty ambitious. There's a scene by a tower, a Wi-Fi tower, that we're not going to get too much into it, but it's a really good action spectacle. There is a driving sequence with a Jeep that is very well done. And they use the First Brothers, Eric. They use, I guess what they shot, I think they shot in Guatemala. I think Grace Carolyn Curry was mentioning that. But
Probably.
they use the island to really full effect, meaning there are some really action sequences that do not just stay in one specific locale. They use seemingly every inch of that island to good effect.
Yeah. And also, so like the Sharknado movies, and I don't know if any of the ones I've seen are, I don't think any of the ones I've seen, the only ones I've seen by the first was I Am Omega. I didn't really love that. It was fine, but what I don't like about the Sharknado movies is the movies, at least the ones I've seen, are like bad. And the whole joke is, look, we're a bad movie, but they're also boring. Like this one gets like intentionally cheesy, but it's also like funny. And the action scenes are also cool. And the blood and the attacks are gross to look at or fun to look at. And so it's not just, look at us, we're a bad movie. It's like they lean into some of the B movie kind of tropes and ideas and lean on that for comedy, but it's not just that. Like, it's still trying to be an entertaining movie. And I think it succeeds in that as well.
It's just, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed A Breed Apart. I think, Eric, will some people be offended, man-eating dogs, or should they, people who love dogs? I was thinking maybe Bruce, he loves dogs so much. I'm not going to say what he said about this movie, but I don't find it offensive. I just found it to be a fun ride, and it didn't take itself too seriously, which
This movie will do to dogs what Jaws did to sharks. For decades after A Breed Apart, people will be side-eyeing their little pets going, oh no, you Schwarzy. I'm not going to turn my back on you too much. Come on, bite my neck.
Okay, so Eric and I.
No, this movie is just completely ridiculous and intentionally, and yeah, it's just going, like, this is playing in theater. I wish I saw this in theaters. I hope it's playing near me because I would love to see this like with a packed crowd. This movie has midnight movie written all over it. It's that kind of thing.
And I agree. It's theaters, digital, and on demand May 16th. And what else can we say? It's a fun romp. And stay for the end credits. If you see this movie, do not stop when it cuts to black or whatever, fade to black. Wait for the end credits because the end credits are fun to watch.
Well,
so again,
yeah, the end credits are like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a tag just before the credits go that I didn't see coming in. We'll talk about that later. But
we'll talk about that later. Again, theaters, digital, and on demand May 16th. My rating for A Breed Apart, 4 stars for me. And what about you, Eric Holmes?
Initially, I was going to go 3-star banger, and I want to go 6.9. I had so much fun with this, but this is the kind of movie where 3-star banger was invented for. So I think I got to go with that.
Okay,
but
cool.
my heart kind of wants me to go 6.9.
Well,
but you know what? We'll officially go 3-star banger.
Okay, 3-star banger.
I'm 3-star banger, 6.9 stars are interchangeable at this point anyway.
Okay, cool. 3-star banger for Eric Holmes. Definitely highest. In many ways, 3-star banger is a very high recommendation, the highest for Eric Holmes. Easy clarification for that. We haven't used a 3-star banger in a while. And again, I gave A Breed Apart 4 stars. Listen later in the episode to hear what Bruce Perky has to say about A Breed Apart. And later in the week, we will have Eric Holmes' interview with Paige Kennedy and Grace Carolyn Curry for A Breed Apart as well on the CinemAddicts podcast feed. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. For more movie and television reviews and interviews, please subscribe to my Deepest Dream channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, thanks so much for your support. Take care.